The first time I noticed it, I thought it was a coincidence. A small job in Seattle. Some nobody hid a high-security apartment using my exact blueprint, looped the fire alarm for 12 seconds, bypassed the thermal sensor with a magnesium blanket, escaped through a trash chute that hadn't been used in 5 years. That method was mine, word for word, step for step. I created it in 2014 during a job in Lisbon. It had never failed, and more importantly, I'd never shared it. So how the hell was someone else using it? A week later, another job hit the news. Chicago. A museum vault. Same pattern. Same timing. Same exit method. I felt it in my chest, not fear. Violation. Some thief was out there mimicking my moves, my rhythm, my methods. And he wasn't just good. He was better than I was at that age. I've always worked alone. Never trusted protégés, never trained apprentices. I didn't keep journals, didn't store blueprints, didn't record footage of anything. My entire life's work existed inside my head. So whoever this was, they weren't just copying me. They knew me. I started tracking him the only way I knew how, by reading the crime scenes the way I used to leave them. He'd hit a private collector in Miami, a server farm in Austin, a classified records vault outside Denver. Each time, the job was smarter, cleaner, and each time, there was a signature he couldn't hide, something small, invisible to most, but not to me. He was making the same mistakes I used to. The same timing gaps. The same assumptions about lighting. The same blind spots in human behavior. It was like watching a shadow of my younger self, operating in real time. And the worst part? He was getting bolder. Then he made a mistake. Or maybe he wanted me to find it. In a job in Baltimore, he bypassed the pressure sensor using a trick I'd only used once, during a job in Warsaw. I never wrote it down, never spoke it aloud. It was instinct born in the moment. The only way he could have known it was if he had been there. Warsaw, 2017. The vault under the Opera House. A silent job. 5 minutes flat. I never told anyone what really happened there. The job was supposed to be clean. But I triggered a secondary sensor, one I hadn't accounted for. No time to disarm it. I did something reckless. I redirected its signal to a nearby maintenance subcircuit, and used a vibration-absorbing pad from the janitor's cart to fool it. It was a one-time improvisation. A moment of survival instinct and pure, ugly luck. No camera saw it. No system logged it. But this copycat just did the same thing in Baltimore. Which means one of two things. 1. He was there in Warsaw, watching me. 2. He is me. That thought crept in like poison. Not metaphorically. Not, he's like me. I mean actually me. Or at least, someone built to be me. You don't last long in this business without hearing things. About doppelgängers. About ghost jobs, run by agencies that don't exist. About people disappearing from crews and reappearing with new faces and old skills. I dismissed it for years. Until now. Because this man was moving like I moved. Thinking like I thought. And choosing targets that had personal meaning to me. Ones tied to my past work, my regrets, my burn lists. This wasn't just someone copying me. He was retracing my entire life. So I turned the game around. I set a trap. I leaked a fake job, a priceless microfilm archive stored beneath a dead consulate in Zurich. A target only I could know about, a location I scouted in 2012 but never hit because of internal heat. I left breadcrumbs on a darknet forum I knew he'd be watching. Left just enough metadata to make it feel real. A juicy prize wrapped in nostalgia and arrogance. Then I flew to Zurich, rented a building opposite the site, and waited. 3 nights passed. Nothing. Then, on the 4th night, at 2:12 a.m., movement. Infrared sensors caught a silhouette. Single figure. Slim. Efficient. Accessed the same hatch I had marked over a decade ago. Identical approach. Identical timing. I nearly stopped breathing. Because even in the thermal outline, I recognized my own gait. I watched the thermal feed as he moved through the hatch, precise, confident, like he'd done it 100 times. Like I had done it. Every move mirrored mine. Every decision, from the angle he tilted the motion disruptor, to the 14-second pause before disabling the contact sensor on the inner door, matched my muscle memory. I felt like I was watching an old recording of myself. But I wasn't. Because this version of me was faster. Smoother. Upgraded. I moved into position. No weapon. Just a silent camera and a transmitter linked to a private server. My plan wasn't to confront him. Not yet. I just needed his face. He breached the interior vault door in under 3 minutes. Faster than I'd ever done it. He didn't take anything. He just stood inside for exactly 60 seconds, then turned around and walked out. No evidence. No theft. Just a performance. Like he wanted me to know he was there. Like it was a message. When he exited the hatch, I was waiting across the street. 3 stories up. Crosshairs on the alley. And when he pulled off his mask, my heart dropped. It was me. Same jawline. Same scar above the brow. The one I got during the Cairo job in 2015. Same dead expression. Same everything. Except, he looked a little younger. Sharper. Like someone had taken my DNA and erased the last 10 years of exhaustion, regret, and hesitation. And then he looked right at the camera. Like he knew exactly where I was. He raised his hand, not to wave, not to threaten. He simply pointed. At me. And smiled. The screen went black. My entire surveillance system fried in an instant. Every camera. Every backup. Gone. 10 seconds later, the building's power cut out. I ran. I spent the next 48 hours tearing apart every safe house I had. I found bugs in 3 of them. Trackers in 2. Not sloppy ones. My own designs. Someone wasn't just watching me. They were anticipating me. I needed answers. And I knew where to get them. There was only one place left I could go. A data broker I hadn't spoken to in 6 years. Name was Sutter. Retired spook turned digital rat. He owed me a favor, the kind you don't ask about unless your life's hanging by a thread. When I told him what I saw, he didn't laugh. He didn't ask if I was high. He just said, so they finally used it. He told me about a project buried under a DARPA black budget in 2011. Project Mercury. A biometric simulation program. Not clones, not in the science fiction sense, but psychological replications. Digital twins. The idea was to map the cognitive patterns of the world's most effective operators, thieves, hackers, infiltrators, and create simulated counterparts. Counterparts who could be trained, deployed, and controlled. They didn't need to create a better you. They just needed to digitize your instincts and give that framework to someone who looked close enough to pass. And I was on their shortlist. Sutter handed me a file. No names. No photos. Just a single code. Unit 32A, Mercer baseline / prototype active. They hadn't just copied my methods. They'd stolen my mind. Everything I'd learned, earned, suffered through, turned into code and fed to someone who could outpace me, outthink me, and eventually replace me. And that was the plan. Unit 32A wasn't there to learn. He was there to erase me. Not kill. Just overwrite. And worst of all, it was working. Every job he pulled made mine look clumsy. Every move he made further disconnected me from the underground network. People were already whispering that I was slipping. That there was someone newer, faster. The ghost named Mercer was being reprogrammed in real time. I had one shot. I tracked 32A to Berlin, a private data hub deep beneath a corporate facade. I knew he'd be there because I would have been. He was waiting. No guards. No mask. Just me, standing across from myself. And he spoke first. "I'm not here to kill you. I'm here to finish you." I asked him, "Why?" He didn't answer. He just stepped aside and left the vault open. Inside was everything they had on me. Recordings. Reports. Algorithms. My memories, rendered as code. He was giving it back. Or so I thought. The moment I stepped inside, the door locked. I turned. He was gone. The chamber began to hum. Lights dimmed, systems spun up. It was a reset protocol. A full wipe. Not of the vault. Of me. But I wasn't done yet. I pulled every backup protocol I knew. Triggered an EMP. Fried the chamber. Crashed half the node in the process. And walked out through the smoke like I was still in control. But I knew the truth. That day, the original version of me died. I'm still out here. But I'm not the thief I once was. That man, the faster, smarter shadow, he's out there too. Finishing jobs I started. Living a life that looks exactly like mine used to. Maybe one day, someone will ask, who was the real Mercer? And the world will only remember the copy. Because in the end, it doesn't matter who stole from who. It matters who gets to keep the name.